Okay, so as I was starting off, so basically, I hope that you are all aware of the fact that, like once you post a bid, um, I would assume that the majority of the customers, if they want to know who you are probably going to visit your profile. And your profile consists out of a couple, most important elements like your profile photo, your experience tab, which is the first topic that we're going to discuss today, some previous reviews that you might have if you completed some shipments, or no reviews if you haven't completed any, and your certifications. So basically, depending on whether you're already background verified and USDA registered and stuff like that. So, or some information again about your incorporation status or your vehicle and things of that nature. And what we've found is that there is a strong correlation between being very successful on our platform and having these elements fully completed, right? So having a good profile photo, having a good experience tab is probably, like the first two major prerequisites to being successful on the platform. And what I've noticed that the majority of our transporters who are just starting off are not filling out this field in a manner which I personally consider to be complete in a way, in a sense. So what I wanted to do is, and we'll send you this document so that you guys can, of course, use some of its elements. I just wanted to address some of the elements that I feel that every good experience tab should have. So first of all, you should try to rely on your most dominant skills. And when I say most dominant skills, I'm referring to things like your skills in transportation, caregiving, pet handling, or whatever else that you have been doing for your entire life, or for the majority, major part of it, so that you can show off that you have some level of expertise. So you're able to see that, I've taken some examples like having X amount of years and operating throughout X amount of states, or, being a volunteer for a pet rescue, or having your own dogs, and that way providing the customers with an early on sense of the fact that you're an expert in a certain field. Then from there, what you want to include in your experience tabs is your platform leverage. Now, this is a sort of a two-edged sword, if you want to call it that way. So I think that regardless of the fact that you have reviews or you don't have them, you can definitely take advantage of both situations. In situation number one, when you're a new driver, I would like for you to sort of emphasize that, and we talked about this last week, about that feeling of, this is my first day on the job, sort of a thing, like where we all kind of want to give people a tap on the back when we know that they're new at something, like, I don't know, a waiter in a restaurant. That was like an example that I used. And I feel like that, customers would feel almost the same way if you're, sort of admitting that, yes, this is my first type of like experience in pet transportation, but I'm very much so willing to, become a professional at it. So, and then you have the other situation for a couple of you that are on the call that have won some shipments, and then you should definitely emphasize that fact, that you've been winning shipments before, and that they can check out your reviews if they want to get, some sort of sense of the quality of the service that you're providing them with. Then on number three, what I would advise everybody is to focus on the actual service that they provide, to include information about the number of pets they plan to transport, equipment that they use, their usual break periods, type of, the way they provide their updates, and some payment details or something like that. And I've shown off a couple of examples below. Again, you will all receive this document after the call so that you can review it in more depth, so to speak. So, what I would include, and you will see that all the way down, is probably everything possible. So like that you provide them with GPS tracking, the form of payments that you accept, whether you provide some sort of equipment, how frequently do you make breaks. I mean, the customer wants to know basically that you have been planning this all out ahead, so that you can, relieve them from the anxiety of the whole process of selecting an anonymous person online to transport their pet. And then, just finally, a short conclusion that focuses and emphasizes the thing that you want to close on. you can either focus on the part which says that, even though you provided them with a quote, you still want them to reach out before accepting it, so that there's no confusion about the dates or anything like that. Then if you find throughout your conversations with the customer that the budget is their biggest problem, just focus on finalizing your statement with them letting you know what their budget is and stuff like that. And of course, as a bonus, like, you can always work even deeper on relieving them from a sense of anxiety by telling them that you are planning to treat their pets like your own, and like that you're even willing to accommodate some special needs, like in regards to their medication or feeding or whatever else. And finally, all compiled, I will provide you with a full example. So this is how long and how well structured experience tab should look like, in my personal opinion. Now, as I said, I've noticed that some of you are either missing it completely, or it's pretty short. It only focuses on one element or one part of your story. And I believe that behind every each and one of you, since you've decided to sign up and use this platform, there are probably more than a single sentence or a short paragraph elements that you can include in order to sort of relieve your customers from anxiety. I've also noticed that a couple of people that are going to join us on the call have not done the thing that I'm going to present on you shortly again. And that is, like creating a subscription. We offer a free 3-month trial period for everybody that signs up. And an important feature that's enabled by this is the ability to send and respond to messages. And I'm gonna just continue sharing my screen right now. So basically, I've noticed that a couple of people haven't done this, and that disables you from an opportunity to establish, as I said, that good early rapport with the customer. There are plenty of questions that you might have about the shipment itself, and there are plenty of questions that the customer might have about you. So, like, let's take this first one as an example and see what's going on. So you see, like, most of the descriptions are even shorter than this one. A lot of customers, unfortunately, are not completing the description tab in a long enough manner to provide you with the full sense of what's expected from you as a transporter. So, like, as I said, sending an introduction is important from a perspective of getting a good first impression, but it's also very important from a perspective of knowing what's expected from you. Also, a lot of times customers list a single puppy, but it turns out that they want to send more than one, and they don't specify that. So, there are a lot of places where there could be a confusion of some sort in the process of negotiating a proper price or proper dates and things of that nature. So it's very important to have your messaging enabled. And in order to do so, you got to click to this settings wheel and basically visit your settings and go to your billing and add a card on your file. And by adding a card to your file, so this is, I have a subscription activated, so you're not able to see this page in the same way that you will if you don't have it, but it's very straightforward. Once you click to the billing, you basically got to fill out just regular form that asks for your first name, last name, the card number, name on the card, and things of that nature. And rest assured that, as you can see, my subscription was activated on December 10th. I will not be charged until March 9th. So I do have a basically full 3-month period for free to take the full advantage of the messaging feature throughout that period of time. So just to summarize it, like you all want to try, before you even consider your preferred routes and your how to win a shipment and how to win a trip back, you should first prepare your profile and prepare your account activity in such a manner so that you can expect to emerge as victorious for a bid. And the best way to do so is by leaving a good first impression, by having a good profile photo, filled out experience tabs with all elements that we're going to send out to you by being among the first people to post a bid. And you can do so by setting up your notifications in such a way that you're getting email or SMS notifications about a new shipment listed in your preferred state or city. And then finally, just by sending a good introduction and follow-up message to those customers who have seen your message.
Also, another question I had, you're talking about setting up the account, setting up the profile. I know it's a lot of questions, but you asked us to participate. All right, I was a mom of 5 kids. I homeschooled. We had like 150 pets over the years. My youngest child is now 26, so I don't have pets anymore. I want to travel the United States. I'll deliver your fur babies. I will love them. I'll take care of them. How do you have ways to help us market ourselves on that, to say, yeah, I want to travel, I'll deliver your baby, I'll take care of it like it's my own?
Like, as I said, it's all about leaving a good first impression. You gotta step into the shoes of the customer and just think about things from their perspective. They're getting tons of quotes, and they have a very limited amount of time. So if you can see my screen, this is what I'm referring to. Like,
right.
I would imagine that on some shipments in very sort of competitive areas, like say southern states throughout the winter right now, like most of the people want to drive in good weather conditions. So there's a bunch of transporters trying to win shipments in Texas, California, Florida, Carolinas, places like that, right? So you can expect a customer easily to receive on a good day, like 10 to 15 quotes within a couple hours. Okay. So when they sit down on their computer or their phone and they have 15 messages to read, I would assume that the majority of them will first not open all the messages and will not open all the profiles, but they will probably look into those who are sort of most incentivizing in such a way, if you want to call it that way. And one good incentive is to provide people with a good sense of your qualities and a good sense of what they can expect from you. So as I said, you got a couple of elements, again, similarly to the experience tabs, that I would advise you to cover. Introducing yourself properly, making things very personalized by using your first and their first name, focusing on your strengths, and removing the anxiety as soon as possible. So I'm a pet owner for years, and I plan to treat your pets like my own. In a single sentence, you've been able to show off your experience in pet handling and, tell them it's all right. I will have you covered, right? Then immediately jump onto the main issue that we sort of identified. And I mean, it's not an issue, but that's how you can call it. So basically, that's the first thing most customers are concerned about, their dates and the pricing. So, you can try to adjust and negotiate dates so that they're according to your own needs, or try to, just basically agree with the customer on their set of dates and explain them how that will affect your pricing. There are also plenty of situations that you will notice, and we've also addressed this in this example, where customers do leave an unrealistic time frame for a shipment to be completed. They list it too late, and by explaining them why it's unrealistic and not just telling them that it's unrealistic, I feel like you're getting a competitive advantage over others. Plenty of people will just tell them there's no way you can go through you can go through 2,000 miles in 2 days, and they will not explain them why. You can go and tell them that you're making frequent breaks and you're respectful of their pets' needs, and in a very nice way explain, both negotiate dates and, again, relieve them from the anxiety if that's an issue, as I said, that you're addressing in the second part of your message.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Then then the pricing comes, and you can again be very smart about how are you doing this, like telling them that that you're understanding that they're looking for most cost-effective solution. Then if it fits your dates, you can tell them I'm willing to do it for a little bit higher price, but within your dates. So basically it goes down, this third part goes down to negotiating, in salesmanship and skills like that. And this is the part where I gave a couple of examples to people about how you can test them out. You can give people two offers, depending on your personal preferences, and in which like the both offers sound awesome to you, and you know, just by sort of giving people that psychological dilemma, increase the odds of one of them getting accepted. What we all know from marketing is that it's far better to give people a couple options than just one where they can say yes or no. It affects people's minds differently. And again, as I said, you can give them an offer that you're actually fond of yourself, and another offer that, you know, probably doesn't make too much sense to them, and create a sensation in their mind that by accepting this first offer, they're actually getting a great deal.